Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in Warframe we're going over ya boy Grendel. He has been reworked and he is still a spicy meatball, so no worries there. We're gonna go over his abilities, my general build for him, as well as just take a look at Grendel in some combat because he has been reworked, but he's still Grendel. The idea behind Grendel right now is still the same. Absorb and eat enemies, you're a tanky meatball, you have your passive, and you just roll around hitting everything. So I'll show you exactly how his entire kit works. You can generally, I would say, use a good handful of different builds on him. So he's kind of versatile like that now, at least, so not that bad. And his overall strengths as a tank and with armor shred are pretty strong overall. So IMO, Grendel is pretty good, he's pretty usable in normal high-level content, but, you know, I'll let you be the judge for yourself. So first, let's go take a look at his new reworked abilities. As always, if you like the video, remember to like, comment down below what you think of the new Grendel, subscribe, and check out any of the other social medias like Twitch, where I stream, as well as I stream on YouTube, so thank you. So Grendel's passive is now, each enemy consumed grants 250 bonus armor, which, if it was his old kit, would be kinda insane, but now you can only eat up to 5 enemies. So we'll take a look at all of his abilities. His first one, Feast, swallows enemies whole, store them in his gut, hold to vomit, or tap to absorb more. So this does a normal amount of like toxin damage and damage percent per second, so overall not too shabby there. But the damage per sec does not actually scale off strength, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And you can eat a maximum of 5 people at once, so that is a maximum base of, I think that would be like, what, 1250 armor? Yeah, that's the math on that. So that's overall not too bad. His second, Nourish. Now this is his really great passive. Regenerate health as Grendel absorbs nourishment from enemies in his gut. While he digests, enemies that attack or are attacked by Grendel suffer viral damage. Oh, so he has that innate viral. That was a hard word to apparently say. And energy sources provide more energy. These buffs extend to squad mates, so overall, drain is low, damage is high, duration is decent enough, gets a good chunk of health, right? Not bad, 1000 to 2000, not too shabby. Has a good energy multiplier. Explosion and general damage is actually not too bad, and it's like viral, so you can't stay too mad at this. The general idea is you just want to always have Nourish on. There's no reason not to, so just chuck it on whenever you need to, eat enemies, and it'll kill some enemies, but like that's not your main use of the Nourish, right? Like the damage increase, explosion damage is cool. The damage increase is nice, whereas the explosion damage is less nice. So all in all, really good passive with how his kit works, so really good on that one. 10 out of 10. Viral go burr. Now, his third ability, his Pulverize, IMO, his bread and butter, his meatball form. Curls into a meatball, heals as he rolls over, knocking over anyone, jumping slams Grendel into the ground, and generates a damaging shockwave. So, you're probably going to want to damage and jump around all the time. My only issue with this is it doesn't do a lot of damage, so it's hard to take the meatball into like high level play, but we'll talk about that shortly. The drain per second, not too bad. Works with efficiency and duration, so you don't need a ton of efficiency because you'll probably have duration. Damage is 500 to 2000, impact, whatever. Damage per second, though, it has some of that sweet toxin damage, but it's pretty low overall, so whatever. Health per second is good. The armor reduction is really good. If you want to play meatball, you want to have 100% armor reduction, which is what I was doing. And then your AoE damage with impact there is also pretty low. And the range on that could be bigger, but I don't have range mods on it right now. So yeah, it is what it is. So my general idea with your boy is go around knocking everyone over as a meatball and kill everything. You might actually want to increase your range on him depending on how you want to play, and I probably will increase his range furthermore later on, or have a handful of different builds because I'm having fun messing around. Last but not least is his final ability, Regurgitate. Essentially, you shoot out someone from your stomach, you throw them up, and that is an armor reduction toxic explosive. So it is weak, but it applies toxin damage, so right, not bad. But more importantly is the armor reduction. If you just give this one a little bit of strength, you'll have 100% armor reduction. So you technically have 2 abilities which can pretty easily build to 100% armor reduction, which does mean you can use them however you want. Maybe you only want to do pure armor reduction with the Regurgitate. Maybe you're fine with Pulverize not having much because you'll just keep hitting enemies. I don't know, it's up to you, but it's an interesting type of Warframe. There's a lot of tips and tricks if you want to take a look at all of these, but it's up to you. Generally, just things are OP. Since Grendel reduces all armor, viral damage is better, right, naturally, so things like heat, if you want to throw that on a weapon, etc., might be really good. This is my general mod build that I have on Grendel. It's definitely a work in progress, and it's just mainly like for fun. For example, Boreal's Hatred, you can chuck that on or off at will. This is just kind of here until I change it around. I would throw on, instead of efficiency, I would throw on some more range and either duration or efficiency if I feel like it. But I just have Boreal's Hatred on as a kind of one to throw on in the meantime. Stretch would be a really good idea, throwing on something like Stretch just right there. And then I'll reformat that after. But I do have the Umbral set since your boy Grendel works really well with health, armor, and the bonus ability strength, right? So he is an Umbral frame that you'll probably want to build with Umbral or not, it's fine. But you can throw on whatever type of tanky mods you want on him. It's not like Umbral is 100% necessary or anything, that is up to you. Arcane, Energize, and Grace for honestly no amazing reason. There's not a ton that I would swap out. It would be fine to throw on something like Molt Augmented, but if you're just planning on being in your ball form, then yeah, you'd probably just want stuff like Molt Augmented. Arcane Energize isn't super necessary because you gain a lot of energy anyways, and yeah, Grace is good to have because why not, but yeah, you can throw on literally whatever. Arcane Eruption, wow, on energy pickup, knock down enemies, right? Like you could throw that on and just be knocking people down left, right, center, so that's the general build. Corrosive Projection is also not necessary, but I just kind of have that shucked on. You could throw on anything, Steel Siphon if you don't want to die, whatever, but you are in no rush to throw on any like specific aura mod, or you can just throw on Physique, but that's what I have on right now for the polarity. So Energy Siphon also might be a good idea because of how your passives work, but hey. So that's my general build for Grendel. I want to know just what everyone thinks of him. And as we can see in the gameplay in the background, the general idea of Grendel is simple. You just roll around as a ball. While you're in ball form, you can freely use 1, 2, and 4, all of your abilities, so you have no issues. He is definitely now, I would say, a viable tank frame with a fun meme gimmick on his 3rd ability, because I was running Grendel in Steel Path, right? Running just the Varuna missions, the new Lua Conjunction Survival, and yeah, like Grendel kind of sucks damage-wise when you're in his ball mode because it just doesn't do a ton of damage unless you want to fully mod for that, I guess, but it just doesn't seem fully worth it. So it looks like now his ball's a lot better, it's faster, and it can move, so it's 10 out of 10. Like, I would actually recommend trying out and playing Grendel now because he seems pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with him. He's really good in lower to mid-level missions, but once you get to Steel Path, it might be more of a pain once enemies have more health and they're harder to take down with basic abilities like your 3rd with just high hits of 4,000, 5,000, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like anything ridiculous with his ball mode, but it's a fun way to move. It's a really good mode of transport. Like, now Grendel is faster than Gauss in his ball mode, so he's a weird frame, and I feel like he'll always be a weird frame, kind of like Ureli because they're gimmick frames, right? Like, no matter what, I think like Grendel and Ureli will always be a weird frame, and that's just kind of how they are. Now, at least Grendel is seemingly usable, right? You can suck people up, have his passive going, shoot people out to reduce their armor, all without your 3rd ball mode, and that is a completely good kit. You could replace his 3rd ability if you honestly just do not like being in ball mode, or you can keep it on to make it a good movement speed, health regeneration, armor reduction. It has fucking everything on it because it's such a weird ability. And it just doesn't do a ton of damage, so I'm going to keep it on Grendel, but it just he's not gonna slaughter steel path enemies or high level enemies like that. It'll just knock them around, destroy their armor, kill them after a little bit. So that's my only like real issue, I would have to say, with Grendel as a Warframe. It just seems like his gimmick in ball mode could always be better if maybe it had like percent health damage, but it does toxin and viral, so I honestly don't think it's necessary. I think I just want Grendel's third ability be like a ridiculously high damage ability, when really it shouldn't be and it doesn't need to be. So overall, I vote Grendel is a pretty good Warframe. He is a great tank and damn near invincible now. Like, you have so much health, you have so much armor, you have so much regeneration, and if you choose, you can easily shield gate on Grendel. So easily. Like, by default, you'll probably just want to throw on Brief Respite, because, yeah, OP, or some Augur mods in that regard, and just throw on a Dragon Key, because the way Grendel's kit works makes him just seem OP for shield gating. Because in your third ability, you constantly spit out, eat up enemies, and nourish yourself, or if you're not in your third ability, you still want to constantly eat enemies, nourish yourself, and spit enemies out for either damage or armor reduction. So overall, I like Grendel. I think he's strong and fun and viable now in like all of Warframe if you want to play it. Maybe it's harder to go to level 9999, but I think with shield gating with Grendel now, you could probably pretty easily do it, but I never do that anyway, so I guess just wait for one of the high level long endurance run YouTubers to create something like that, right? Yeah. Either way, that is the end of this video. Hopefully y'all liked it, appreciate it. As always, if you want to support the channel, like, sub, favorite, check out Twitch, YouTube, all the social medias down below, because I post stuff everywhere, so I do appreciate it. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Peace.